Hello, welcome back to Blender Live. In this episode, I want to show you some kind of 3D or 2D, actually more like 2D art therapy that you can do at home. I'm using this app called Diffusion Bee. All right, so it's another AI tools. I mentioned about this app a couple of times. It's currently running on the M1 machine. So actually, yeah, M1 machine connected to my iPad. So I can do like a doodle using my Apple Pencil. And the Diffusion Bee is running on the M1 machine, and it's actually pretty fast with the latest versions. 1 minute or 30 seconds per generations, depending on the prompt. Okay, the prompt you can actually go to Art Hub and take a look at example. Yeah, something you can try. Let me go back to Diffusion Bee. So first of all, I want to make like an idea. This is like, you can type anything, right? You can type any prompt, like for example, if you wanna have like a photograph of dolphin. Normally, if you want to draw a dolphin and you need to find a reference, where do you go? Google image, right? You're gonna do like a Google search and you find a photograph of dolphin. And this is gonna take like a few seconds, hopefully. It needs to load the model. If you Google search for a dolphin, or if you actually search, you cannot search Art Hub, but you can Google search for dolphin photo. You will be pretty much limited. I mean, you can find like hundreds and hundreds of dolphin photo. It is this just an example, right? But if you are using diffusion, you're using stable diffusion. With Diffusion Bee, you can find like compositions. You can actually start to make a composition based on a longer prompt, not just like a photograph of dolphin. That's gonna take 30 seconds or 1 minute, and you have image of a dolphin. That's yeah, this is actually not too bad. Let's see. This is the latest versions. I can actually reduce the steps. Let's say a photograph of a robot riding a dolphin. So it's gonna do what it's doing. It can actually do like a batch. So if I can tell it to make like 100 image, and it's gonna generate 100 image, and it's gonna be the reference where I can draw from. Okay, so I can use it as reference. Let's wait a few seconds. Okay, it's a robot riding a dolphin. It looks like a robot riding a dolphin. It's actually 512 by 512 image. Let's say, let me try make 10 image now. 20 steps, generate. Okay, the quality, because this is like a reference. Okay, earlier today I actually made this. It's a kid playing with a robot toy by the beach, and this is the reference image. Sometimes it produces like a really bad quality image like this, like many limbs. This is because the AI is doing the job. This one is actually pretty good if you want to draw like a boy and a robot. So if you actually use this, let me show you very quickly what you can do with it. Okay, this is Blender, right? You can draw using grease pencil right away, but I recommend you to go to 2D animations. By default, the 2D animations is, have a white canvas, and let me show you. You can change the canvas. Where's the color? Oh well, you can change the canvas background color over here. Yeah, anyway, just make it gray. For the pencil, we don't have much choice with the pencil. I mean, I'm just gonna use the ink this ink. That's okay. You don't need to use Blender, but this is my Blender therapy, so I'm using grease pencil to draw, and I'm using my iPad to draw on this control spacebar, hide everything else. Okay, now you can start drawing, right? Using that reference. Normally I like to actually just draw using like a thicker brush, because I'm like a more like a cartoonist, a scribbler, and yeah, it really depends on your style, but you can use this reference image to draw. Start drawing, like basically the idea is to ask the AI to make maybe 1,000 or 10,000 drawings of something with different seed. You're gonna have like variations, and based on that you just draw or trace or do like a painting based on the AI, what the AI actually created. You don't need to do this, but of course this is really strange, right? Why don't you find like a real toy and real boy model and then draw from it? That's one way to do it, or just use your imaginations. In this case, for example, if the arm is looking really weird, then this is where you fix what the AI cannot do, like drawing hands and legs. It cannot do that at the moment, but yeah, this is the boy by the sea. So this is just an idea. If I go back to my reference, check out the dolphin image. So while I'm talking, so the AI is of course generating more image. Okay, by the way, this is the boy by the sea, but with different style. This is what the AI actually does really well and surprising for people, and because you can tell it to draw with certain style, different light, things like that. It's not always perfect, but you can always fine tuning it. Okay, for example, if I actually like this dolphin and the robot, I'm actually recording this on the iPad, so it's gonna be slightly different. Again, back to the 2D animations. I like a really thicker brush. I feel more confident with a bigger radius. Pencil, ink, yeah, ink. Yeah. Okay, when when doodling using the iPad, actually the stroke, I don't like the stroke that's being set here. I want to get rid of it. The strength, the radius shouldn't be controlled by the Apple Pencil. Let's say we have this and we have this robot. You can make a better robot, of course. This is just an example. But the dolphin is there, at least. It's already kind of stylized, but this is the AI drawings, and you're training yourself to draw from the AI. I mean, of course, it's better if you look at a real dolphin, find a real photo of dolphin. However, this is like a 3D therapy, and you can try doing this yourself. Just use your imaginations, and if this is gonna be a robot, you can change the design of the robot. Yeah, you can make something that's a little bit surreal or something, right? Let's take a look at other example. Lots of the image doesn't have the robot, but this one, okay, this one does. Maybe just pick another frame, and because I'm using grease pencil, when we draw the new one, we're gonna have frame onion skinning going on, which in this case we don't actually need. Turn it off. So it's crazy ideas. In your brain, I mean, you probably take a look at this, and in your brain, you can start to train yourself to see the shape of the dolphin. And while doing this, of course, the idea is not like 1 or 2 or 10 image. You make like you create an ideas, right? Like maybe like a giant robot in the city Tokyo, like a monster. You're making a story and create maybe 20 or 100 or 1000 overnight. And it's possible with the latest version of Diffusion Bee. It's actually pretty fast. This is amazing. A month ago it was like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes per image. Now we can actually get an image in just under 1 minute, in just 30 seconds. So it's pretty crazy actually. I probably created around 2,000 or 3,000 photos, okay, of AI generated photos based on different prompt, based on what I'm interested in. With things like robot, okay, this thing is actually really good. So I mean, it's not like, it's like I said, it's like crazy ideas. It's not that your imaginations is limited, but normally if you're drawing something, you need to have some kind of reference anyway, right? So with the AI perhaps you can kind of train your brain. So if you keep drawing like this every day, try to draw the shapes, and if you are into the shading, I think the AI is actually really good with shading and style, right? While if you're like a scribble person who likes doing like a scribble like me, like doing this and just looking at the shape and just make the outlines like a comic scribbles, then you look at this differently and you shade it differently as well. It's depending on your own style. You probably, if I take this to another level and just make myself very expressive with the brush, maybe I will end up with my own style. My styles, if it's like this, I almost think it's almost a little bit lazy in a way. But I do like inking. My inking, I mean, it's not the most accurate, but I enjoy just doing like scribble like this. And yeah, that's another artwork, right? But you don't stop there, because you know, the AI already created 20 generations. Okay, why is this possible? Because the AI, yeah, it's still working, so it doesn't create 20 yet. But I like this red one. So the shape might be repetitive or a little bit too abstract. This is something that you can perhaps just use your own imaginations and make like a basic shapes. This is not very refined. Maybe it's not even like a real mecha style robot with all the precision. However, because this is like an art therapy, it's okay. it's giving you confidence to just do like a quick scribbler. Maybe it will train you to create details or some kind of 3D based on just line scribbles. So like I said, I'm like a scribbler. So what's interesting, however, is the maybe the composition. Normally when I'm drawing, I'm maybe pretty weak with the background. But if you try to draw the background, put the character in the background, it's gonna start to feel like more real because the character is now inside the background, inside the scene. Okay. Yeah, the robot is super basic, but it's actually looking a little bit like Transformers, just like a very, it's like origami mashup of design. That's how I think with the Transformer. It's almost like origami robot. The older Transformer with the proper design, that's less detailed, is more interesting. I mean, maybe simpler looking like a toy, but because these days everything needs to be like realistic and super detailed. That's why the recent Transformers just looks like origami. Look at the arm. See, this is robot, and maybe this guy is kind of limited in terms of knowledge of a robot, right? Let's say robot is a funny example. Maybe if we go make like a puppet dancing on top of table. Let's try this. See if it says almost 1 second per iterations, and the steps is set to 20, so it's around 20-30 seconds per image. Okay, the Diffusion Bee is not just doing text prompt to image, it's actually doing image to image in painting and all those sort of things, which is pretty cool. You can actually try from whatever you draw here. I mean, I'm gonna finish this one. Let's say, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm happy, I'm satisfied with this. It's not perfect. It's like a robot. It's unfinished looking. I mean, you can paint it with a color, but grease pencil is not best for that. And it's creating a puppet. With a puppet, you can get the pose. It's a dancing puppet, so you can actually draw that. So let's save this first. Crazy AI drawing. It's not AI drawing. We are tracing AI drawing. If we are happy with this, for whatever reason, take a screenshot. Let's go to Talika. This is one way to do it. You actually, I really recommend you to just paint this properly using whatever app you have on the iPad or whatever app you have, Photoshop or whatever, you know. It doesn't matter. So the puppet will just, it will keep drawing a puppet. It has a certain design, but yeah, for concept art, it's like amazing because you can create unlimited variation of the puppet like this. But let's go to image to image. This is our creations just now, right? Let's try this. Hyper realistic robot, intricate, super detailed, mecha robot. Should I say anime? Don't say anime. I think it's gonna turn it into something else. Modern. Greg Rutkowski. Before I put in Greg Rutkowski, maybe just leave it like this. Mecha robot. Check the options. Inputs strength 0.5 is gonna be, I think if I say 0.3 it's gonna be loosely based on this image. The AI will create something loosely based on just this image. Okay, because it's really fast now. I mean, it's almost as fast as the playground AI or other like Mage or Midjourney. I mean, Midjourney, I don't use Midjourney much. I use Stable Diffusion. You see, it's creating a robot. I can make multiple of image, 100 maximum. Let's say I make 4. Set the options to batch. Batch size is something else. Input strength to 0.4 and generate. The seed is gonna be random for each generations. There are many ways to do this Diffusion Bee. The Stable Diffusion app is really pretty good. I'm using M1 Mac, iMac machine. It's 8 GB. It's actually quite slow. Maybe the M1 Max or M1 Ultra, the $6,000 one, 6,000 Australian dollars. That's gonna be a lot faster. But I think it's crazy because if the AI is actually really fast, if it can generate something under 1 second, it's almost like real time, right? If it can generate an image, and if you can just you scrub the weight until you find the one that you like, it's a bit crazy that in that sense. It's almost like a lens now, because it's calculating things so fast and keeps generating image. Because in just I've been doing this for more than a month now, but let's say just in 1 month I created 1,000 or 2,000 image, whether it's online or using my own machine. I try to install it using, like different interface, Stable Diffusion UI, Swift Diffusion, what else? Invoke AI or Playground AI, whatever, like all those sort of things. It's a tool. I look at this like a tool. It's not like you create text prompt and create something that's so beautiful that you can sell. Yeah, you can do that, but I don't find it interesting. I'm more into kind of creating something that has a little bit of my own handbrush, my own drawings. Okay, hyper realistic robot, intricate, super detailed. This is just using this really simple prompt. Okay. Hyper realistic robot with the background doesn't have anything. Standing tall in the city. Background. Urban. Okay, maybe super detailed mecha robot made in Japan. Modern dramatic light by Greg Rutkowski. When you start putting the name of artist, the design or the look is gonna be really different, but this is the original, right? I save it as usual. I like this method really. Who is the concept artist for Metal Gear Solid? I always forget his name. Yoji Shinkawa. Oh man. Greg Rutkowski. The thing with Greg Rutkowski, if you look at the style, it's giving a different style of light and shadings. So you can definitely learn the art of shading. This is without Greg Rutkowski. It's very cartoony. This is with Greg Rutkowski. The lighting, it changed, right? This is how the AI interpret the look. Anyway, it's let's take a look one more before I change to Yoji Shinkawa. You can actually mix Greg Rutkowski, Yoji Shinkawa, all this, the name that the AI understand. Okay, that's very Greg Rutkowski right there, the shading. This one, the detailing. Yoji Shinkawa is, the style is more like brush, anime brush style. Okay, the AI model, Stable Diffusions or Midjourney or DALL-E 2, at least with Stable Diffusion, you can train the model, you can add your own style, you can make your own model, right? This sort of things. So yeah, look at this, it's so different. It's more like anime mecha. It's really beautiful and interesting. The model, okay, the model is like 4 or 5 gigabytes. Some model out there is like 7 gigabytes. It depends how you train the AI model. So that's the idea. You can feed it with more image and photos and styles, your artwork style, and you create your own models. That's the idea. So you can, for example, use your own photo, and based on the face, it understands that's a face of a person. You give it a name. Oh, this is a person name, and you can then use it inside the model and create unlimited composition based on that, based on the what you train it for. So the model is limited in that way. So maybe it understands 1,000 artist name, all with different style. At least that's how I understand it. But there are millions of artists out there. Some of them maybe have interesting style that people never heard of. But we know Picasso, Van Gogh, all these famous artists, all this. So what I'm trying to say is the model is actually quite limited, like a container with, it's a big data, it's been trained with the big data, but still it's very limited. Okay, don't think it can create everything. But so if you prompt it to create like a puppet or whatever, it's gonna be really limited. But you learn the composition style and the light and how it's blur the background, the bokeh, at least the pose, how you can pose a character. For concept art, I mean, it's not the most interesting. Some of them might look actually kind of basics, yeah, but still something that you can study, you can learn. Spend 1 month using the AI tools, just you and the AI. Okay, don't think about, oh, the AI is like, it's gonna be like, it's really bad, it's gonna kill the artist, so the artist cannot, the human artist cannot make anything anymore. People just can just prompt. Okay, it's different matter. It's, think of it like a tool, like a AI that you can train yourself, like for yourself, because at the moment at least it's accessible for us as open source. Maybe in the future it won't be accessible anymore, we don't know. But everyone, every artist should have their own AI to help them to make something, based on their own style. This is something that's probably not yet trained, but maybe for 10 years or 100 years in the future, you have your own model. It's not a copy of yourself, but as an artist, you look at yourself and just reflect. Okay, you have your own limitations, but you also have your own gift, like talent, like your skill. How good you are at certain things, at drawing things, and maybe how bad you are. Maybe you're not good at drawing hands. Like I have to admit, I haven't drawn hands much. I like drawing face a lot and some figure, and I like doing cartoon. But you can train yourself with AI. I mean, in the future, maybe with the AI, you can kind of work together, and the AI could be like 100 times, 1,000 or a million times better than you, in a certain way, but still have your style, if that makes sense. So, yeah, this is it's Yoji Shinkawa in terms of brush stroke. The design of the robot is basic, as we can see here, but the variations of it, like remixing by the AI, it's amazing. Would you actually style the robot if you know how to do detailings? Would you do it this way or that way? This certain style. This is not something that I'm familiar. Maybe I can do it that way. There's so many artist names that I can't remember, but the style is similar to that. I like this cartoony simplicity. So from this style, if I put some efforts to do detailing, maybe it's gonna look like this. I think in my brain, I know I can draw this. Maybe not shaded, not this kind of shading, but you can see all the variations. Create 100 variations or whatever. Yeah, so this is inside Diffusion Bee folder, which is hidden. You can see the result. You can save all the output. Yeah, so crazy AI drawings. It's just an idea. Yeah, I like drawing robots, so this is one of my therapy. I like doing this. Maybe I should make 100 or 1,000. If I actually put this into real canvas, that's probably gonna worth something. But maybe the original actually worth something. I don't know. What do you think? So yeah, Diffusion Bee currently running on M1 machine is actually already really fast. 30 seconds. This is exactly what I want 1 month ago. If I use the M1 Max today, this is gonna generate it like 1 second per image. That's gonna be like insane, right? Too much informations. But maybe you can train yourself. How fast can you draw and shade like this way? How fast you can do this? Maybe slow. Maybe art should be slower, right? That's also possible. I don't know can we find an artist with concept artist make we cannot put art gems. Kazeo. Mecha name. I like some of the Japanese artists. Okay, Yoji Shinkawa. Kobayashi. Okay, Yoji. Let's try this. I don't know what's the result's gonna be, but just to close this. It's probably a good idea. This is the guy who did macros. Famous for macros. Yeah, concept art. This is a real artist making concept art. I like, the shading. Maybe the AI knows how to do this. Maybe the AI doesn't know. Yeah, probably it doesn't know, but it creates something anyway. 1.2 something second per iterations times 25 is around 30 to 40 seconds to create this. Spend 1 day and just drawing. I don't know if have you ever like imitate a drawing like Mickey Mouse or Winnie the Pooh or famous artists like Akira Toriyama who draw Dragon Balls? You imitate the style, right? At first, it's probably similar to that. I don't know, but with the AI, the style keeps changing, and there's so many variations. maybe your brain will get confused. What style do you actually try to learn? However, you might find that you're enjoying this experience more than anything. So that's why it's the 3D art therapy. The style, what style do you want? What style that you have, by using this reference, by studying this, what style will you end up with, you know? Because this is so diffuse and remix, like random. It's almost like a DJ making like a remix music. It's a little bit like that. But yeah, what's gonna be the output? I don't know yet because this is only 1 month me creating this. So that's pretty much what I want to say. Hopefully this is useful. Just like a random thought. It's a crazy AI referencing AI generated artwork and then using it as an art therapy. Just draw and paint the shading if you want to study the shading, maybe that's what you want, or just trace it. Okay, all right, so there you go. Hopefully you find it useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.